and welcome back to the 100 Day Art Challenge. This video will be number 79 of 100 and it's a little bit different this time. I thought what I should do is show you my setup, kind of. So as you can see, I've got a large pad. It's A2, covers my desk, so much so that you can't even see the top of it. It's too big. Hangs off the front of the desk. No, to be honest, I can push it to the back. It's just trying to show you how much it can't fit on the screen. And these are the soft pastels that I've been using, which is a Winsor & Newton set. And it's my first time using Winsor & Newton soft pastels. I've used soft pastels before, some really expensive ones that were very nice, and some much more reasonably priced soft pastels that I struggled with a bit more. I mean, I did a couple of things that were okay, but I struggled to get something as nice. So these I've quite enjoyed. Now this is the first piece that I made for this challenge. The first piece that I made for this challenge in soft pastels, I should say. And it was playing with these soft pastels for the first time, so I didn't really know the colours. A lot of them look more grey than they look on the camera in the box. So I just thought, I don't know what this colour is. It turned out it was orange. Don't know what this colour is. It was pink. So I just thought I'll push a few around and play around a little bit and see what happens from imagination. And it turns out I made an incredibly ugly piece of artwork. So that's what we're witnessing now. And I thought, well, this could be a submission, you know, who cares? It's an ugly piece of art, but that is what happens sometimes when you experiment. And I don't want to hide things. I want to just show it even if it goes wrong. And I am showing it to you, but I'm not leaving it as a submission. I thought what I will do instead is show you this first, to show you the first piece I made. And then if you go back, I don't know, 5 videos, you will see the other piece that I made after that. Now this is what my setup looks like. So I have a computer monitor with a white screen in front of me. I have a ring light directly in front of me. So when I say the monitor in front of me, I mean facing me, whereas the ring light is facing the monitor. And I have the camera attached. Can you see the camera in the middle of the ring light facing downward? That's how I film what I do. It's the reason there are no shadows when I film myself making art, is that the monitor has white light coming one way, the ring light is going the other way, and they both then completely neutralize any shadows. It makes it quite nice and clean, but it does make it difficult. So the reason again I'm showing you this is because I'm sat down and I'm sat a little bit back so that the camera has space and I'm not always touching the ring light. And then it means I'm stretching across the pad, so everything that I'm drawing is quite foreshortened. This is a warning for what you're about to see as far as the foreshortening, because I get the proportions wrong on this, really wrong. And I'm to blame, you know, but I'm also blaming my setup for this, because I didn't intend on making a caricature, but that's what I ended up making. Maybe I was rushing a little bit as well and being a bit sloppy, but I just thought, I kind of know the colours now. This is not my first or second piece. This is now my 5th piece, I think, or something like that. Now, I know before I said go back 5 videos. It's because the one at the beginning I don't count as one of the submissions. Instead, it became an example at the start of this video. So if you go back 5 videos, you'll see the first submission with these soft pastels. Again, I don't know if anyone's watching this closely, but you may notice that I did do a couple of soft pastel pieces, but they were grayscale soft pastels, and it was for the final pieces for an exhibition that I have up in Trevenant, and that still hasn't gone up yet. There was a bit of a mishap in Trevenant where one of the staff members was supposed to leave me a key somewhere, and instead they buried the key, which I was not aware of, and neither was the owner of the building. So when I called him afterwards to say that, you know, why I hadn't put up my artwork, he said that his staff member had buried the key and he hadn't realised that's what they'd done, which I think their instincts were good. They were trying to make sure the key couldn't be found by anyone and someone break in and just get things, because there is alcohol and things on the site. So I thought, you know, I understand why they've done that, but I had no idea that's what they were doing, and I didn't really know where it was. So I'd asked an artist friend of mine to help me put up the artwork, and then by the time I'd picked up this friend, he no longer wanted to do this favour for me, and it was all a bit awkward. But never mind, the work didn't go up, so I'm yet to film that. I don't know if that will be for this challenge or if it'll be afterwards, because at the moment I'm just too busy working with the gallery that I work with, and recording podcasts and editing those, as well as trying to make artwork for this challenge. But there we are. Now this piece, you can't really tell at this point how foreshortened and skewed the proportions are, but it's just really skewed. And I think it's because the camera is, again, slightly in my vantage point, not as much as I am because it's higher up looking down, but it's not showing it from above. This piece from directly above is very skewed and warped, but I don't think it's a terrible piece. It's just it's the proportions are off, and it's a shame because I like the colours. I was going to redo it, but it's not as though it's a commission. It's not as though I need it to be framed and it's going to go up on a wall. These aren't. They're just pieces that I'm doing for the challenge, just to enjoy myself and learn things about the medium that I'm using, and to try and create something visually interesting and hopefully a little bit inspiring for anyone watching. So that's why I'm doing it. And I think the colours are quite nice, together, even though as a portrait it doesn't really work. Which is funny because, again, when you look at the video from this angle, you just think it's not that bad, but it's bad. You just can't tell. You'll be able to see on the last shot. This is supposed to be my older brother looking at his mural on the wall. It's a photograph where he's looking at his mural, and the reflection in his glasses is the colours on the wall that he's painted, and the light's coming from behind him, so his face is in shadow. The light's coming from behind him, bouncing off the wall and reflecting in his glasses. That's why there's light on the back of his cap and the top of his cap and the tip of his ear, but his face has got these deep colours, because it's all shadow. So I thought it'd be quite nice for a piece. But yeah, it's interesting still, I think. And sorry, I just had something in my teeth. I still think it's interesting. Look at the mess I made of his nostril. I had to clean that up a little bit. And I still learnt things, which is nice. But it's made me a little bit insecure about the angle that I make these pieces from. So the next piece that I make, I'm going to either stand up, or I'm going to sit down, make some marks, then stand up and check it and sit back down and keep checking the proportions that way, because I don't want to lose pieces to just the angle that I'm making it from. It's exaggerated by the fact that the pad is so large that you can see my arm is stretched out, to get it further up the pad. But certain parts of this, like, I don't know if you just saw that light red, that pinky red that I just put on the inside of the ear. I think that looks good because the light is coming from behind him, so it radiates through his ear, and it's a thinner part of the ear, so it shows the translucency of the skin. Things like that I quite like, and I'm going to use again, and I'm going to try and utilise it to make better art in the future. But for the time being, it was just an interesting piece. I wish I would have done a better portrait, because if I would have done a good portrait of my brother, it would have been quite nice. But it's at least an attempt and one of the submissions, and it's got some nice textures, I think, on his face. But there we are. It was interesting to show you my test piece from the beginning as well, that ugly piece of art, and then this weird looking piece. But this is what I did, and that's my submission for the day. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.